Mame fa na se ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV de osia dem yopo.
I would like you to join me listening to what Edudzi has finally come out to say about Speaker's statements which he made some time ago, and also react to Afenyo's support to retain him. Without much ado, I would like you to join me listening to what he said into detail. This station still remains PENDREAM TV. Please do subscribe as a new member. Like and also share to other members to watch as well. You can leave a comment at the comment section after watching, or send us a voice note on our WhatsApp number, which is 0277 128 777. Thank you. Stay tuned.
For change, for progress, and their trust in the party's promise to reset Ghana. And Ghana, we must reset. We cannot do that just in 4 years. We will make tremendous gains in 4 years, but we need more than that. And it behoves on all of us in what we say, in what we do, in our attitudes, in our conduct, to let Ghanaians know that there is no other party better than the NDC. The economic challenges inherited from the outgoing administration will be considerable. In fact, many of you don't know how deep the hole is. And if we are to succeed in reversing these trends, it will demand the utmost commitment and concerted efforts of professionals like you. Your insights, professionalism, dedication, and ability to mobilize support to reset Ghana will be critical as we work together to breathe new life into our economy, our government.
And then he also had a lot to say when it comes to the newly elected parliamentarians to be inaugurated in the 9th Parliament.
To become a member of Parliament, you have to be elected by the voter. And you have to be declared by the Electoral Commission. But you have to be sworn in by the Speaker. Thank you. Until you are sworn in by the Speaker, you remain MP elect. So I was very clear in my mind that some of those re-collations and re-declarations were completely null and void ab initio. They were unknown to the law. And so they were not properly so-called MPs elect and not qualified to be sworn in by you. My back this year, we had those discussions. When I told them, they were all surprised. I said, yes, I'm the gatekeeper. The right thing must be done for us to be able to reset Ghana. And so, this recognition, I tell you, is going to do more than what I have done.
I know we are in a position, so I'll go ballistic.
Edudzi,
don't worry.
okay, meaning so, what? I mean,
okay, you once again,
the Speaker, the pronouncement is making
yes,
but dangerous. Before are they not?
Before I get here, Roland, I'm a man who is very grateful for whatever help people give me. In this political conversation, you need help. And on this campaign, there were many people who came through for us in our campaigns. It's only fair that I use this platform to appreciate them. Whilst we sit on this platform, we do not maintain all the knowledge in this world. People send us text messages, on-the-spot information, and that usually changes the confirmation. Your platform is for education, entertainment, and to inform people. And so sometimes you'll be on the platform and an expert sends you a particular information that essentially changes even what you say and what not to say. I want to appreciate those people who usually come through for us. I appreciate you greatly. Roland, there have been instances that you've not been here, that either Bella or Na or Cookie have stepped in. And as men, we tend to try to maybe make it a bit
the women more
uncomfortable for them. And so I want to thank them for whatever it is that they have endured in keeping us in check. It's always a difficult thing. I appreciate them greatly. But you see, that said, I want to, on this issue of the speaker,
even about the contested seats in relation to who will be inaugurated or be part of that swearing in and all that.
I've read on various platforms the conversation that at this critical moment, the responsibility is within the clerk of parliament, and that it is the clerk that will first admit the people into the house. It is the people who will then subsequently elect or select or, as it were, endorse whoever may be proposed as speaker. I recall vividly in 2004 where former President Kufuor had brought Sechi Hughes. And then the NDC minority then, I think led by Honorable Bagbe, then proposed Peter Lajete, the then speaker. And the matter was put to a vote. And the MPP numbers, obviously more than ours, overwhelmingly voted for, what do we call it? Sechi Hughes. And so Alajete lost the plot. Obviously, there is going to be a conversation as to who will be the next speaker. Already, I've heard Honorable Afenyo Markins and co saying that Honorable Bagbe should stay and they will prefer working with him, among other things. Speaker Bagbe is somebody whose pedigree and, let me say, experience is one that is over 30 years relative to our democratic experiment. And with that experience and what have you, I'm sure it is going to make whoever the next speaker is going to be a very interesting conversation. Either way, I want to wish him well. He served Ghana extremely well. And if his name comes up, with the likes of Afenyo Markins and others already speaking in his favor, I strongly believe that the future is pregnant. Yeah. With that pregnancy, I want to dovetail it into the conversation as to what Right Honorable Speaker said. I think he's expressed a view that not many people share with him. Particularly from the MPP side, that is not within his remit, because technically, for the technical legal reason, at the time MPs will be sworn in, quote unquote, there wouldn't be a speaker. Even if he will be the speaker of the next, technically, it's considered to be a new parliament altogether. And so the admission into the house may be done by the clerk. But I want to believe that whatever the clerk will do would be within the confines of the law. And so if there are existing legal processes relative to, quote, the MPs who are the benefit of recollation, and like the court said, to the point that the and the Electoral Commission itself makes the point that they recollated on the basis of the court order. Now, that order of the court had been set aside. And so, to the point that those orders have been set aside, the consequential orders that resulted in the recollation and the benefit derived from that purported recollation must fail or must fall. Like we always say in Mark 4 and USA, you cannot put something or nothing and expect it to stand. So when the foundational order is no longer there, and in many of the depositions done by the Electoral Commission before the court, they make the point that they had to do the recollation pursuant to the orders of the court. And so if those orders are no longer there, the logical consequence is that all the recollations done on the basis of those orders falls, as somebody would say, flat. And when they fall flat, you cannot derive any benefit from it. I think that it is within that context that the Right Honorable Speaker is saying that if you are a product of that impugned order, if you are a product of that quash order, then you can't enter the House.
Okay, so that's the reasoning behind
That's the reasoning behind
his opinion he shared.
That's all,
okay.
Without more.
Okay, so it's not for any mischief?
No. I mean, and remember that this is a speech he delivered after the Supreme Court pronouncement. And his claim is well-founded in law. In fact, I remember the claim by the Electoral Commission at the Supreme Court was that they had already done the recollation. And so the court should not entertain our application because it's like the horses are bolted. So why do you want to now lock the stable after the horses? The Supreme Court said, no. Once the impugned orders form the foundation of the so-called recollation, it must fail. And that's the logical consequence for it. And so under the circumstance, the Speaker is right to say that those people should not enter the House.
Well, I say good morning to Abigail Darko with the Ghana National Association of Teachers. Rightly and did the right things. Now, Mensa also says, common sense should tell us that administrative errors that are undertaken by people with delegated authority from the Electoral Commission, officers of the Electoral Commission, cannot be used to subvert the will of the people. And so that leads to the lack of trust. So who do we blame then?
So you see, we have always maintained that the level of incompetence exhibited by this crop of Electoral Commission officials is deliberate. You see, somebody can be incompetent by reason of lack of proper training or something. But in this specific case, the commissioners are being deliberate in their incompetence.
Edudzi, how deliberate?
I will demonstrate that to you. See, in the specific case of the Dome Kwabenya, the returning officer for Dome Kwabenya, appointed by Madame Jane Mensah, pursuant to Regulation 2, performing his duties under Regulation 3, says that after everything, the NDC candidate, Electoral, had obtained 51,000, so and so. Then the NPP candidate has obtained these numbers, right, and had made that declaration. The law is that if you are dissatisfied with that declaration, issue a petition and challenge it. And that position was advanced by the Electoral Commission to us when we questioned them in respect of Techiman South. You remember in 2020, when the Honorable Haruna Idrisu led the team to go and do that. In the specific case of Dome Kwabenya, you are now saying the possibility of a rerun. And what is the argument? The argument is that the presiding officer for Abokobi Women Development, they call it AWA, it's a very popular place, a stronghold of the
Women
NDC.
Development Bank.
No, Abokobi Women Development Bank. No. So what's the issue? The presiding officer, we are told, did the tabulations on the training pink sheet. But that training pink sheet was duly signed by the MPP polling agents, together with together with the NDC polling agent.
They didn't notice?
Granted, for whatever is worth. Yes. Assuming that they didn't even notice it, what you do is that with the signatures of the two, you only transpose it onto the proper pink sheets. Nothing more, nothing
for them
else.
To sign again.
To sign. You don't call for a rerun. Now, this is the mischief. A mischievous Electoral Commission official can decide that, okay, I've seen you have won 15 polling stations, and with those 15, you become the member of parliament. So can deliberately engineer some mistakes and now on the basis of that ask that go for rerun. There's an inherent mischief that we need to cure. So in this case, what you need to find out, MPP polling agent for my senior Michael Kwe, is this your signature? Yes. NDC agent for Madam Electoral Akurugu, is this your signature?
You mean it is that simple?
Simple. You only transpose it onto
because
the
they signed it.
Because they have signed
with
it.
the intention that it was the right document.
No, listen. The 2020 election petition judgment. Oh, hold on. The 2020 election petition judgment. The Supreme Court said the polling agents of John Mahama, having appended their signatures, you will not be held to complain. In this specific case, the rule is that even where a polling agent is not satisfied, he has to indicate the reason. This one, it was signed. If it is signed, it means that he agrees. So if you look at the pink sheet, it floats. We, the undersigned, declares the things on it to be what? True and proper. So if the numbers are, and look, the NDC candidate, Madam Electoral, in that particular polling station, won overwhelmingly by about 100-vote difference. So there are manifest injustice if you call for a rerun. Two, you cannot. Two, the other thing too is that, listen, the Electoral Commission had done grave injustice to the NDC candidate for Obuasi East, Samuel Abuaji. Why am I saying this? The Electoral Commission, returning officer for Obuasi is Frederick Mensah. On the 8th of December at 5:30 a.m., declared the NDC candidate as the winner.
There was a declaration.
A declaration. In fact, listen, the MPP MP,
carried live by the media.
Yes, the MPP MP for Obuasi is the current MP, signed for himself as his own agent on the declaration
that he lost.
That he lost. Then Samuel Abuaji signed for himself that he had won. Then Madam J. Mensah now called the same Frederick Mensah to come to Accra, and now Fred says, I was under duress. Even when the MPP MP was there, policemen were there. I mean, if you allow J. Mensah to proceed with this, it is recipe for chaos. No. Now, you see, I'll tell you something.
End from here. You have a minute and a half.
The MPP filed 6 mandamus applications by my learned senior, Gary Nimakun. Of the 6 mandamus application praying for recollation or collation, Obuasi East was not among. But guess what? Immediately the court gave the order, the EC smuggled Obuasi East and did the recollation and now declared the MPP candidate as the winner. There was no court order to recollate or do anything in respect of Obuasi East. So, no, the reason why
I've just said everything has been quashed.
No, because there was no order in relation to Obuasi East. The point I want to make is that if you have an electoral commission that is whimsical in its approach, it portends danger for our democracy. And the manner in which the electoral commission is proceeding, particularly Obuasi East, Domeko Abenya, are very dangerous. And that is why, look, this thing, it can flip tomorrow. When we're talking, hold on, when we're talking about Techiman South, you people were telling us, there is a declaration, go to court. You remember, go to court. We went to court, Techiman High Court. After 3 years of legal battle, they just said, the collation that we had challenged in 2020 was proper. And we left it. You guys didn't know that today we'll find ourselves in this situation. What principle are we actually building our democracy on?
That's a good question. I'm asking all of us.
Thank you for staying tuned. PENDREAM TV really appreciates your time on this channel. Please, to the new members, do subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell, like, and also share to other members to watch as well. Thank you.
PENDREAM TV now, so far so good. Say open online portal e Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.